Hello viewers, welcome to a brand new episode of Campus Side. I am Navya Krishnan. Let's have a look at this week's story. The legacy of Mahatma Gandhi came alive in hearts and minds this October 2nd as people across the country paused to remember the man who led not with weapons but with wisdom. Known as the father of the nation, Gandhi's life was a journey of courage, simplicity, and deep conviction. From the dusty streets of Chamberan to the salt-soaked shores of Dundee, his footsteps carved a path of peaceful resistance. But Gandhi was more than a freedom fighter, he was a teacher of values. His ideas of truth, non-violence, and universal uplift continue to shape how we think, act, and live. In this story, we revisit the spirit of Gandhi, not through textbooks, but through the timeless power of his ideologies.
The spirit of Gandhi continues to shine across generations, not as a memory, but as a message. On October 2nd, Gandhi Jayanti becomes more than a date. It becomes a moment to reflect, to realign, and to remember the quiet strength of a man who changed the world without raising his voice. His journey began in Porbandar, Gujarat, but his ideas traveled far beyond borders. In South Africa, he stood up for dignity. In India, he stood up for freedom. And everywhere, he stood up for truth. Gandhi's belief in ahimsa, non-violence, was not just about avoiding harm. It was about choosing love over hate, patience over anger, and peace over power. He thought that true bravery lies in restraint and that every act of kindness is a step toward justice. Brushes of history paint him in khadi, spinning his own cloth, living simply and walking with purpose. But behind that simplicity was a powerful idea that freedom begins with self-control. Gandhi's lifestyle was a protest against greed, inequality, and blind consumption. His call for Swadeshi, the use of locally made goods, was not just economic, it was ethical. It was about self-reliance, dignity of labor, and national unity. His method of satyagraha, holding on to truth, became a tool for change. It wasn't loud, it wasn't violent, it was firm, honest, and deeply human. Whether it was the Salt March or the Quit India movement, Gandhi's protests were built on personal sacrifice, not public spectacle. And then there was Sarvodaya, the upliftment of all. Gandhi believed that no one is free until everyone is free. He worked for the poor, the marginalized, and the forgotten. He thought that service is the highest form of leadership. His vision of Sevana selfless service was not limited to one day or one act. It was a way of life. Today, many communities observe Sevanavada, a week of service around Gandhi Jayanti, where people engage in acts of kindness, environmental care, and social awareness. It's a living tribute to Gandhi's belief that true celebration lies in serving others. He also believed in Nair, a new model of education that combined learning with hands-on work. To Gandhi, education was not just about reading books, it was about building character, understanding society, and learning through doing. As the music of remembrance plays each year, Gandhi's message dances through our thoughts, not with roars but with whispers, not with force but with faith. Children learn his name, adults reflect on his words, and families gather to light candles, not just for the man, but for the values he stood for. Gandhi's legacy is not locked in museums. It lives in every act of truth, every moment of peace, and every choice to serve. Gandhi didn't just fight for independence, he fought for integrity. And in a world that still needs healing, his ideas continue to roar quietly, powerfully, and endlessly. With camera person Athira, Charvee, and Navya for Team Campusite.
The spirit of Dasara came alive at Visa by Nexus Mall on October 13th as the annual Kinnipilli Vesha event brought the city's youngest performers to the stage. Children dressed and painted like tigers filled the stage with energy and fun.
The festive mood of Dasara continued light up Visa by Nexus Mall as part of 5-day Dasara Navotsava Season 3. On day 4, the spotlight was on tiniest performers, the star of Kinnipilli Vesha, who brought a wave of excitement and joy to everyone around. The mall was buzzing with laughter and music as parents helped their little ones get ready backstage. Brushes moved quickly, painting tiger strips on small faces. Tails were pinned carefully, and bright costumes transformed children into mini tigers full of life. It wasn't just a performance, it was a celebration of tradition, passed down lovingly from generation to the next. For many parents, it was a proud moment to see their children take part in something that's such an important part of local culture. And when the music started, the magic began. Children under 2 and under 6 danced their hearts out, some with shy steps, some with fearless rolls, and all with smiles that lit up the room. The crowd clapped, cheered, and laughed, soaking in the adorable energy of young performers. Parents stood in the audience, phone in hand, capturing every little twirl and roll. You could see the pride in every smile and every cheer, a true family celebration in every sense. The performances were judged by Arun Ayurdi from Udupi, Rakesh Darshan and Athira Shetty, who encouraged the children and praised their efforts. MC Saujanya Hegde kept the program running smoothly with RJ Naina from Big FM 92.7 added to the fun, chatting with kids, interacting with parents, and helping the energy high throughout. Behind the stage, parents continued to support their kids, fixing costumes, guiding steps, and celebrating every moment. Some even joined in dance, making it not just an event, but a day of togetherness and joy. As the event came to an end, prizes and gifts worth 50,000 were awarded to young participants. Their faces lit up with excitement as they held their trophies and posed proudly with their families. The atmosphere was filled with applause, laughter, and pride, a perfect ending to a day that celebrates both tradition and childhood. Day 4 of the Dasera Navotsava at Fizabai Nexus Mall wasn't just another program, it was a reminder that culture and celebration began with our youngest generation leading the way. With bright costumes, cheerful dance, and endless smiles, Kinipili Vesha truly brought the spirit of Dasera to life, one tiny tiger at a time.
At Pilikula Nisargantama in Mangalore stands the Guttumani, a traditional Tuluva house that reflects the architecture, culture, and lifestyle of coastal Karnataka. This recreated heritage home offers a glimpse into the region's rich and past living traditions.
Nestled within the serene surroundings of Pilikula, Nisargadama, Mangaluru, stands the majestic Guttumane, a timeless reflection of Tulunad's heritage, architecture, and living traditions. Once the residence of coastal landlords, this traditional house has been carefully recreated to preserve the grandeur of the Tuluva way of life. Every beam, tile, and carving tells a story from the past. The Guttumane is built from locally sourced materials, strong hardwood, laterite stone, and clay, designed to withstand both the region's heat and heavy monsoons. The sloping Mangaluru-style roofs and open central courtyard adds to its charm and practicality, allowing light and air to flow through naturally. Inside the house unfolds like a living museum. A special corner recreates the warmth of Grandma's tale, the oral tradition of storytelling passed through generations. Visitors can listen to age-old folk tales, much like children once did, gathered around their grandmother in the soft evening glow. The old kitchen stands as a memory of simple living, clay stoves, grinding stones and wooden shelves, holding traditional vessels. It speaks of a time when cooking was more than a task. It was a ritual of love and togetherness. The bedroom preserves the essence of vintage domestic life, an old dressing table with mirror, neatly arranged bed, and faded portraits of ancestors watching over the home. Each object carries silent stories of generations that once lived within these walls. The house also includes a traditional well, once the heart of daily chores, where families gathered for water and conversations. Beyond domestic life, the Guttumane celebrates the cultural richness of Tulunadu, from the legends of Koti and Chennaya to the vibrant colors of Yakshagana and Attikalinja. Every tradition finds its place here. These artifacts, from metal masks and ornate furniture to the ancient tools, symbolize the wealth, prestige, and artistry of the coastal landlords. The Guttumani is not just a heritage house, it is a journey through time. The Guttumani is not just a heritage house, it is a journey through time, a living classroom that whispers the stories, struggles, and celebrations of coastal Karnataka. Through its walls, artifacts, and atmosphere, the Guttumani continues to remind us that heritage is not only preserved, it is lived.
In the heart of Malemar stands remarkable space that breathes life into the past. A one-of-a-kind museum born out of what was once just a scrap business. Over the years, it has become a symbol of creativity, sustainability, and community spirit. Here's a story of how one man's vision transformed discarded materials into a priceless collection of memory.
In the heart of Malemar stands a remarkable museum, a place where the past meets the present through the rust, shine, and stories of vintage treasures. What began as a small scrap business 2 decades ago has today transformed into a one-of-a-kind museum, capturing the attention of visitors and preserving memories that might have otherwise been lost to time. The man behind this inspiring transformation is Ibrahim Khalil. Originally from Kulur, Khalil once ran a scrap shop where he noticed something unusual. Valuable antiques and traditional items were being thrown away as waste. From lanterns to gramophones, from old telephones to coins, pieces of history were ending up in piles of scrap. Determined to change this, Khalil decided to collect and preserve these forgotten objects.
ಸ್ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಜನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನೆಗ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಪರಿಸರಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡುಗೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಗುಜ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಪರಿಸರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಸಮುದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರ್ಬಹುದು. ಅದಲ್ಲದಿದ್ರೆ ರೋಡ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ವೈರ್ಗಳನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊತ್ತಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಪರಿಸರಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಮಿಷಿನ್ ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೆಲವರು ಈ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್, ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಂಕಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಶೆಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಿಷನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುವಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಬರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಮಿಷಿನ್ ತೆಗೆದಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಂಥ ಕೆಲವು ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳು, ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಐಟಮ್, ಆಂಟಿಕ್ ಐಟಮ್ಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ನಾವು ರೀಸೈಕ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಣ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಎಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಮಗೆ ಅದು ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಮುಂದಿನ ಪೀಳಿಗೆಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಬೇಕು, ಮುಂದಿನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅದನ್ನ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡತನ ಅದನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಐಟಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡುವಾಗ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡತನದ ಐಟಮ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲವು ಇದೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಅವಿಭಜಿತ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸಿಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಜೋಡಿಸಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
One by one, he began gathering items not only from his own shop but also from nearby households and other scrap dealers. What started as a small personal effort gradually took shape as a museum, a space dedicated to heritage, creativity, and sustainability. Today, Khalil's museum proudly displays a vast and fascinating collection of artifacts. Visitors can find vintage watches, tape recorders, gramophones, lanterns, radios, and traditional household utensils that remind us of how far we have come and how deeply connected we are to past. But this museum isn't just about nostalgia. It's also about learning and community. Within its walls, Khalil has built a small library open to children and students where they can read and explore books free of cost. His vision is simple: to make knowledge as accessible as the memory he preserves.
ಅದರೊಂದು 15 years ಇಂದ ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪು ಮತ್ತು ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಟೇಪ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡರ್, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕಾಪರ್ ಹಿತ್ತಾಳೆ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನಾ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟದು ಫುಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಯಿತು ತುಂಬ. ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಸಲ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಜೋಡಿಸಿಟ್ಟು ಚೆಂದ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಗ್ರಂಥಾಲಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಪುಸ್ತಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಒಂದು ಓದಿ ಕೂಡ ತರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲವು ಈ ಬರೆದು ಉಳಿದಂಥ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ತಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ನಮಗೊಂದು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಕ್ರ್ಯಾಪಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಅದರದ ಹಣ ಬರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ದಿನ ನೋಡುವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನಮಗೆ.
Khalil's efforts have also caught the attention of organizations like Plastic for Change, which supported him in organizing the space and structuring the exhibits. With their help, he was able to create separate sections for various types of artifacts, making the museum more engaging and educational. Beyond preserving antiques, Khalil is also doing his part for the environment. He has invested in machines to shred waste paper, ensuring sensitive documents are not misused, and to separate cable wires from copper for effective recycling. His initiative truly embodies the idea of turning waste into wealth, not just in materials but in mindset. Through dedication, creativity, and a strong sense of purpose, Ibrahim Khalil has turned a simple scrap shop into a living museum, one that celebrates culture, encourages learning, and inspires sustainability. In every rusted object and every carefully restored piece, there lies a story of patience, preservation, and passion. And through this museum, Khalil reminds us all that even discarded things can hold great value when seen through the eyes of someone who cares. With camera person Reema, Shreya, and Nishali for Team Campusite.
That's all for this week. See you next week. Until then, stay tuned.